This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Pointer Brand. Pointer Brand jeans, made in America, 100 years in business. Go to pointerbrand.com. Leaders in Internet media and the American-made movement. You're listening to Internet Radio America. Tonight on Internet Radio America, it's the network premiere of Two Wheel Meltdown. Mark Pavliker is in the house, broadcasting live from Baker Drivetrain. The call-in number tonight is 617-381-4700. And now, here's Mark.
What's going on, people? It's Mark P. here at the Baker Drivetrain headquarters, and this is the Two Wheel Meltdown. This is everything you want to know about American V-twin motorcycles and Baker Drivetrain products. I've got James Seminelli alongside of me. Say hey, James.
Hey, people.
James is a sales technician, as am I, here at Baker Drivetrain. So when you pick up the phone and you call us, guess what? You're going to talk to one of us, too. What we're going to do tonight is kind of a brief history of Baker Drivetrain, what we do, what we make, who we are. Some new happenings around here, around the industry, some little bit of funny news. We try and keep things on the light side here at Baker. We don't get too serious about anything. I've got a tech tip coming up for you. We're going to do that every week. Give you a different tech tip. And, if you've got questions, we're going to have time for those at the end of the show. And if the same questions keep coming in, well, then we'll make that a tech tip of the week. And I'll let everybody know what's going on. A couple of industry guests this week are what we like to call our heavy hitters in the industry. Today's guest is going to be Fab Kevin. He'll be calling in near the bottom of the hour. Fab Kevin is a great guy. He does everything right here in America, and he does everything with steel. His motto is, what's his motto there, James?
If it ain't steel, it ain't real.
If it ain't steel, it ain't real. Great fella, and we'll be talking to him later. We've also got our dealer. We're gonna do a dealer interview. We like to call them special dealers. All of our dealers are special to us, but these are guys that have worked with Baker Drivetrain very closely on a lot of projects and a lot of installs throughout the years. And it's going to be Mark Bowler from Oasis Cycles. Some of you might know him out there, especially in the motorcycle industry. Some of you may not. We know we've got a rather diverse crowd out there, and not everybody is into the motorcycle industry. So we'll get you familiar with it all. Well, let's get it going here. A brief history of Baker Drivetrain. This company was started in the basement of Bert and Lisa Baker's house. Bert and Lisa Baker were both engineers at General Motors. Bert, anyway, was very much into dirt bikes at one point in time, and somebody put him on a Harley. I think his name was Bill Schmidt. And like everybody that gets on a Harley for the first time, they get the bug. They're instantly hooked. And Bert was hooked as well. Something you got to know about Bert, though, is he's a madman. He loves speed. He loves to go fast. And, of course, the first thing he did was get that 5-speed Harley out on the highway and crank it up as far as it'll go. And what he noticed is when you get past 70 miles per hour, 75 miles per hour, it starts shaking the living crap out of you. And not a whole lot of fun at those high speeds. So being the engineer that he was for General Motors, he used to do manual transmissions for smaller cars like the Chevy Cavalier. And Bert said, you know what, I know what I'm doing here. I can design a transmission with a 6-speed in it to alleviate some of those vibrations and get my RPMs down and make going 100 miles per hour a hell of a lot more fun. And so that's what he did. And he only did it for himself. He did it for his own motorcycle. And then, of course, his buddy Bill Schmidt wanted one. Then another guy wanted one. Then another guy. And the next thing you know, he's got a work schedule. Every night that he comes home from General Motors, he worked all day at General Motors. Now he's got to come home and build transmissions. And it finally came to the decision that this was too big of an opportunity to pass up, and said, let's take it to the next level. And that's exactly what he did. He created Baker Drivetrain, and that was back in 1998, and here we are in 2012, and we are stronger than ever. We are making new products every year. Every year we come to the dealer show in Cincinnati and show off our wares. And every year we come with something new, something exciting. We've got a real big project coming up. I can't let you know about it yet, but we'll keep you informed and we'll keep you in touch as long as you listen to us here on Internet Radio America every Wednesday from 6 to 7. And as soon as I can let you know, I definitely will. For those of you who don't understand what a drivetrain in a motorcycle is, it's basically everything that connects the power from the motor to the rear wheel. That consists of a primary, a transmission, a clutch, and those are the products that we make. We make 4-speed transmissions, 5-speed transmissions, 6-speed transmissions, and even now for the new bikes, yes, a 7-speed transmission. We can put a transmission in any bike from 36? 36, James?
36.
36 up to the present day. Big twin motorcycles. We do have some Sportster products. If you've got questions on what Sportster products, you can get with us at the end of the show, or you can always give us a call. It's 517-339-3835 is our telephone number. We have a toll-free telephone number. Let me grab the card here because I don't know that one by heart. 1-877-640-2004. That's 1-877-640-2004. And that's a brief history. There's a lot more to it. There's been ups and downs in this company. There's been a lot of employees funneled through here. When I started in this company, I believe there was like 44 people. At one point, we were down to 14 people in those tough years between 2009 and 2010, which everybody felt a little bit of the recession or depression or whatever the heck you want to call it. We don't care to pay attention to any of that. We just pushing ahead, and we've been successful, and we are very successful now. We've been profitable for 22, 23, 24 straight months, I think, once we get through December here. And things are looking very, very good for Baker Drivetrain. Got anything to add, James?
I think you covered it up pretty good, Mark. Let's talk motorcycles.
Good deal, man. Motorcycles, definitely. Our biggest seller is definitely the 6-speed transmission. Again, we are all American made, and let me elaborate a little bit on American made. A lot of people say they're American made. Their stuff is made in America. Well, come to find out, a lot of times it's sold in America, or it's assembled in America. Here's how it works around Baker Drivetrain. Everything is designed right here in-house. Everything, the prototypes are done right here in-house. Everything is manufactured right here in-house. And if we outsource any part, it stays right here in this country, and most of them right here in Michigan. Our gears are made in Massachusetts. I know there's been a lot of talk that, hey, these guys are getting their gears made by the same cranes that make everybody else's. Wrong. Ours are made in Massachusetts, and if you come to any show, you get to meet the guy that's responsible for making our gears. If you want to stop by and see us in Sturgis or Daytona or any other show that we do, he's normally there. And it's a proven true system that Americans make very good products, quality products. They care about what they make, and if we've got a vendor that doesn't care what they're making and doesn't care about the quality, we're not going to have it. And we have had to release some guys that just couldn't stay up to the standards. But that's how it happens, man. That's how it happens here. Got anything to add to that, James?
No, I like you, Mark, I'm big on made in America. I mean, everything I do, I try to shop American made. I mean, I just bought a new pair of sneakers and had to look and look and look till I could find some that were made in America, but I found them.
And that's how we all do it around here at Baker Drivetrain. If we see somebody buying a foreign car, or another foreign product, we definitely give them crap. We just don't take it, and we know what it means to be made in America. We know how much it means to other people. When your neighbors loses his job, it sucks for him, but you still got your job, so you think no problem. Well, the next job that's going to be lost is yours. So please, folks, please buy American out there. We can't stress it enough. It doesn't just help you; it helps everybody around you, and it helps this country to grow strong. They're talking about a fiscal cliff right now and all these problems. Well, you know what? All those problems can be eliminated by just buying American and making sure the manufacturers in this country can continue to employ people, and not just continue to employ the people they got, but to create new jobs and make this country strong again. So, moving on, new happenings. There's a couple bits of industry news that I'd like to share with you, but we got to keep things positive, and the boss says it's going to start a firestorm. So I said, no, we're going to skip that one. That's not going to happen, but we got some funny stuff in the news. Cyril Hughes blog is a great place to go for information on custom motorcycles, and I visit their website every day at cyrilhughesblog.com. We're actually working on a deal that maybe we can get Cyril in here, and he can do this news segment for me, so I don't have to mess with the news. But there was a pretty funny story. Poopies. Poopies is the name of a biker bar. I don't know who the hell would name their bar Poopies. I mean, that's a pretty rough name.
I think the owner's name is
okay, his name might be Poopy. Really? He would go to the bar and, hey, Poopy! Poopy, can I get a beer, man? Poopy, I need a shot of Jack. Anyway, he, being that his name is Poopy, or his nickname is Poopy, we'll get to some nicknames, too. We got some pretty cool ones around here. Anyway, his nickname was Poopy, and because his nickname was Poopy, and he owns a bar, he had to decorate his bathroom. His bathroom had some screen-printed toilet seats, or custom painted. I'm not sure how it happened, but they're actually pretty cool toilet seats. They had skulls on them and scary monsters and whatnot, and looked pretty cool in the bathroom. But his toilet seat got stolen. Whoever the person is out there that stole Poopy's toilet seat, can you please give it back to Poopy? He's really upset that his toilet seat is missing, and somebody's going to recognize that toilet seat. If you're hanging out in a biker bar and you got biker buddies, and your biker buddies come over to your house to have some brews after you leave Poopy's, and they see that toilet seat, they're going to whoop your butt, man. So please, give Poopy back his toilet seat. Another piece of news here around Baker Drive Train is we're getting a new window, or at least I hope we're getting a new window. Me and James and Matt, we all share an office. It's used to be the marketing office, and for marketing purposes, our office is painted black and orange. Black and orange are Harley Davidson colors. We kind of flipped them. It's more black than orange, and it's very dark in this place. And I want a window. Lisa said, what do you guys need now that you have a new office and you're all sharing an office together? And I said, Lisa, I would like a bay window with a geranium and a cactus. I don't know that I'm going to get my bay window with a geranium and a cactus, but we are going to get a window, and it's going to be a little brighter. And so I'm going to be a little brighter. I'm going to be a little chippier. And we're going to have some light in this place. Do you want some light, James? Do you want some light?
I think it'd be good. I think it'd just keep us happy. We like to be happy all the time.
We're
pretty happy.
We're positive people. Yeah. We're happy people. We have a great job. We get to come to work every day and talk about motorcycles and talk about the parts that put motorcycles together. And that keeps us happy right there and there. But a little light wouldn't hurt anything. Let's talk about our guest coming up, Fab Kevin. James, you know Fab Kevin pretty well. Have you ever bought a part from him that wasn't made in America and wasn't extremely good quality?
Fab Kevin makes all his products right in Clinton Township, Michigan. Very, very well engineered stuff. fits perfectly. The man stands behind this stuff like gold. I mean, he even has what he calls his punch in the nose guarantee. He does a lot of frame work. He'll convert your swing arm frame to a rigid, and he says, you know what, if you break this, you can punch me right in the nose. I had my buddy Big Scotty have a frame done by him. Big Scotty goes about 6'8", 300, 320 or so, and Kevin looked at him, he said, I hope I'm not going to be sorry I gave you this guarantee, but even to this day, Big Scotty can't break a Fab Kevin frame, so I say thumbs up to Fab Kevin.
And we'll be talking to him shortly. Well, he'll be here at the bottom of the hour, about 6:25. Do we have any other recent news? I didn't see anything on the Cyril Hughes blog of any great importance. What do we have to offer here new at Baker Drivetrain? For those of you who are having problems with your 07 and up bikes, 06 Dynas, 07 every other model, there's been a lot of talk of problem in the primaries. Failed primary bearings, failed clutch bearings, failed main drive gear bearings. What we have found with all these failures that seem to be all in the same area is that the chain tensioner, the automatic chain tensioner that Harley uses as stock, is ratcheting up the chain way, way too tight. And anybody that knows anything about a primary in a motorcycle knows that you cannot over-tighten your primary chain. This is going to cause bearing failures left and right, and it's happening left and right. So what we did is come out with what we like to call our Attitude Adjuster. It's a manual chain adjuster, quite similar to what you have in your older bikes, your pre-07 bikes, and we also offer a primary for these adjusters because the stock primary doesn't have an inspection cover. Without the inspection cover, you can't peek in on your new chain adjuster. So we also offer our Bully primary. It comes with both a derby cover, and you can adjust your clutch, you can adjust your primary chain all through the Bully pulley cover and not have the bearing failures with the new Attitude Adjuster. Those retail for $199, and fellas, even if you haven't had any primary problems yet, I would highly, highly advise you to pull that outer primary cover off, take a look at your chain tension. You should have about 5/8 to 7/8 deflection. Is that right, James?
That's what we like to see, yeah.
5/8 to 7/8 deflection. If you don't have that, your chain is going to cause problems. So please, man, get that automatic chain tension out there. Harley does a lot of great things. That was not one of them, to say the least.
I think one thing you guys are going to notice immediately, too, is the reduced amount of primary noise you get when you install one of our manual chain adjusters. Just a little side benefit. A lot of people notice their late bikes are very, very noisy as far as primary noise. We've had some pretty top tuners recently endorse this product. I mean, it's a no-brainer, man. It's plug and play. It works.
Definitely. A good deal. All right, let's move on. Our tech tip of the week. Harley-Davidson's shake. We all know that. They vibrate bad. They'll vibrate bolts right out of whatever area they're in. People from the beginning have been riding their motorcycle, pulling it into the garage, and tightening up their motorcycle. Bolts all over this thing will fall off. One screw you do not want to tighten is your fork rod set screw. This set screw is located between your primary and your transmission. It's in the transmission case, the top of your transmission case, just about dead center. What this screw does is keep your fork rod from sliding in and out of your case. As your shift forks move, your fork rod also likes to move. And if that set screw wasn't there, the fork rod would just fall right out. And we've actually seen it happen from people that didn't put the set screw back in. But that screw is one you don't want to tighten. You don't want to tighten that because that fork rod has got to be allowed to move. You got to have some play. If it's just 1/8 of an inch, that's fine, but it's got to have some play. people automatically think, whoa, wait a minute, look, there's a loose screw. I got to tighten it down. This is a Harley. Tighten it down. Tighten that screw down. Do not tighten that screw down. You're going to bend your fork rod. You're going to bend some forks. You're going to have shifting problems. And if you are having shifting problems, that may be the cause of it already. So please, fellas, don't do that. And if you need more information, you can always call us, and we can describe it to you in more thorough, in-depth detail. Put us on the cell phone while you're out in the garage. Say, hey, James, man, something's going on here. You know, tell me where this damn set screw is at, and he'll guide you through it, step by step. And that's what we're here for. A lot of people, a lot of companies out there, they sell a lot of products. What we do here is we sell products and we back them up. We don't back them up with just our great warranties, which all our transmissions come with a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty, but we back it up with service after the sale. If you've got questions, call us. If you're not sure about something, please call us. We're coming into a break here. We'll be back. We got Fab Kevin coming up next, and a short commercial break, and we'll be right back. Thanks, folks.
Leaders in Internet media and the American-made movement. You're listening to Internet Radio America. Tuesday on Internet Radio America, it's Beans and Apples. Sax and Rowdy in the house to talk about New York and Boston. It's the sports. It's the culture. It's the fans. Beans and Apples, a special sports talk show between New York and Boston. 8 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday nights on Internet Radio America. Hi, this is Frank Rowdy Crumley. Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time is American Made. It's a show about American manufacturers, the American Made movement. I'm your host for American Made, and now it's Season 2. Join us every Wednesday night at 7, only on Internet Radio America. Leaders in Internet media and the American-made movement. You're listening to Internet Radio America. All right, let's get back to Two-Wheel Meltdown with Mark Pavliker and the gang. Take it away, Mark.
Yeah, we're back here on Two-Wheel Meltdown. This is Mark B., joined by James Simonelli. We've got a great guest coming in right now. Frank, is he available yet?
I believe your guest is here.
I'm here.
Kevin, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Mark. How are you doing?
Good, man.
What's happening, Kevin?
I got James here alongside of me.
How you doing, James?
Doing great, and doing great.
All right.
Cool, man. Hey, we got new listeners out there. This just isn't a biker industry gig. This is an everything industry gig. Can you, take a little bit of time and tell us what it is exactly you do, Kevin? We all know here in the industry what you do. You're awesome, and we love you. But let our listeners know, please.
Well, I got the second best job in the world next to the guys at Baker, I'd have to say. But I make my living designing and manufacturing parts for that are geared towards the home motorcycle builder, the guy who's building the bike in his garage. And my components would be used in the construction of the bike. I don't really make add-on parts like little doodads to dress up your bike. I make more of a hard, more parts that would be used while you're welding the bike together, putting it together, different components like that.
Real stuff.
Real stuff, yeah. And I'm being from Detroit. That's what we do here. We make stuff, and I still make stuff.
Unlike some of our other fellow GM, Chevy, Ford, who took a little bit of a dive for a while, Kevin kept going and never stopped. Kevin, you mentioned that you have the second best job apart from us. I don't know about that, but we can debate that all night. What do you like most about working in the motorcycle industry? I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Like as an example, just like you characters there, on a daily basis. I mean, the kind of people that I get to deal with and call. When I've got a question about something, maybe I'll call into you guys or whatever, and I'll get James on the phone, and I'm getting people. I'm dealing with people on a professional level that are very passionate about what they do, and prior to getting in the motorcycle business, I was in the automotive industry as an industrial fabricator, and it's a job. You plod along and you deal with people, and everybody's doing a job because it's their job. But in this business, whether it's my customers or peers in the industry, everybody is really got a passion about what they do. So it's a lot more fun to come to work every day and take a call from a guy who's building a bike. He's got questions. He's really excited. He's very enthusiastic, and you spend a few minutes with him, help him out, and you end up you leave the conversation with knowing that you really helped the guy. He's real happy, and it's hard to beat.
Right. It's a lot about the people, and we notice that too here at Baker. These people bikers seem to be just a touch different. They're not just enthusiastic. They are very proud about what they're building and want it to last and want it to be the best it can be and want it to be a little different. And you make a lot of stuff that's just a touch different.
Well, yeah, and what I try to do is my website, every product on my website is something that I designed and developed myself, and everything tries to fill a niche that maybe wasn't there, fill a void that wasn't that needed to be filled. So, and I try to continue to develop things here and there, but and it's all made to, it's all designed to make somebody's job easier or to make their bike better when it's finished.
Exactly. That's why we love you, Kevin, because you do exactly what we like to do, or like what we try to do. I don't know how good of a job we do at it, but we give it a hell of a try.
You do a good job at it. That's
You got any new stuff you want to talk about, Kevin? Any new products coming out?
With the advent, with some of the technology that's coming out now, in the area of batteries, these lithium-ion batteries are just getting insanely small and powerful, and I'm working a lot right now with some manufacturer. I don't know if I can toss names out there, whatever. It's an American battery manufacturer on the West Coast, and these lithium batteries, you can take, if you're building a little chopper and you want to hide something, like a big battery, it's difficult. But these little lithium-ion batteries are so much smaller. So I've been having a lot of fun developing ways to hide those batteries, on tiny little stripped-down bikes.
I'll add something to that. I think it's pretty cool. Say you got a race bike that you're looking to make as light as possible, like yours truly here. Man, there's no easier, better way to save 10 pounds. When Kevin told me about this stuff, I said, man, that just sounds too good to be true. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's it's just a whole nother. It's a different avenue. I mean, most of the motorcycles I work on are stripped down to the bone, with very minimal accessories and to be light and fast and whatnot. And those batteries are, big help.
And we're seeing those batteries more and more, not just in the automotive or the motorcycle world. I mean, your power tools, everything is coming around to the lithium battery, and they do seem to last longer, and they're quite a bit lighter.
Yeah, so that's I've been doing stuff with that. I do, I write tech articles and whatnot, and that's been a lot of fun for me. I I started doing that a couple years ago, and it's kind of grown and allowed me to, share some knowledge and ideas and whatnot in print. And I write for the Horseback Street Choppers with a monthly column. So that's been a lot of fun for me. And my kids are getting older now, so it gives me more time to spend working on my craft and playing with motorcycles.
Definitely. And you are one to share knowledge, no doubt about it. I'm sorry I didn't meet you earlier. I've been here since 2005, and I just finally got to meet Fab Kevin face-to-face and hang out when we were down at the Smokeout, right, in North Carolina.
Yeah, that was a great time. We had a lot of fun there.
Definitely, and we're going to do that again. I don't know if we're going to be down there next year. We may or we may not, but we're going to hang out again. We have to do that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to happen for sure.
Hey, along the lines of the Fab Kevin Baker relationship, when did you first experience Baker Drivetrain, or hear about Baker Drivetrain, or get one of her products? When did the whole relationship start?
I'll tell you what, I have a letter that I got back from Bert Baker, and I'm going to have to dig it out here. I should have had this ready, but I sent a letter to Bert. It had to be in the late 90s, asking about the possibility of a 6-speed for shovel heads. And he took the time to type out a letter. Probably was Lisa that did it, probably. But nonetheless, I received a letter back that it's in the works, and I know it was the late 90s or maybe early 2000s.
Nice. And how long did it take for that particular 6-speed for the shovel heads to come around? That was 2003 or something like that. Bert was he couldn't believe that somebody would want to take and put one of our Baker transmissions, which, they're $3,500, $3,600, into an old shovel head. Most of the shovel heads that he had seen at that point in time were old ratty bikes, and he's thinking, why? Why in the heck would somebody want to do that?
What's perfect, like if you take a pre-73 Harley, so it would have a juice drum, or even earlier a mechanical drum, a 51-tooth rear sprocket, and you can only go maybe to a 25-tooth front sprocket. And so there's no real way to get that bike to run 80 miles an hour all day long. But you introduce a 6-speed into it, and now all of a sudden you got a bike that's a lot of fun to run through the gears, and you can get on the highway, and you're not losing anything. You're not giving up acceleration. You're enhancing your acceleration, and then you're enhancing your your highway speed. So it's I've never put a Baker in a bike that somebody said, boy, I don't know, I'm just not happy with it. People are like, man, why didn't I do this, sooner?
Go ahead, Jay.
It's almost as good as your punch in the nose guarantee, right, Kevin? We touched on that a little bit before.
Yeah, exactly. The punch in the nose guarantee. One of these days I know it might get me in trouble, but another thing I wanted to touch on earlier, you talked a little bit about this business and the kind of people being passionate about their motorcycles. Yeah. And one thing I'll add as an American manufacturer, and you guys are obviously benefit from this too, bikers are probably the most patriotic consumer left in our nation.
Oh, yes.
I mean, car guys, probably the muscle car guys, maybe so, but the young kids now, they're going towards all these tuner cars. Most other hobbyist consumers really don't care where their parts come from, but bikers do, and that's been a really, really important thing for my business, and I'm sure for yours too.
Oh, definitely. The fact that it's American-made, a lot of people. Here's the deal with Baker Drivetrain, and here's the deal in your industry. Too, that making things in America is not cheap. Steel's not cheap, material's not cheap, nothing's cheap. So the end product is not going to be cheap, and the price tag on it is going to be very expensive. But when people want the best, and they want the quality, and they know that it's made here in this country, that they say, hey, man, I'm going to spend that extra $1, and I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to be proud that I did it, and that makes them want to show off your products, our products, all that much more.
Yeah, well, when your taillight bracket fails, that comes from China, not only do you not get to punch them in the nose, there's no way to even find out who made it, where it came from. It's, you just lost it. It's down in the ditch somewhere because it fell off your bike, But when you deal with an American, a guy, which in this business there are plenty of them, and even if you did have a problem, you can correct it, or you've got somebody there that's gonna stand behind it, help you out, and
they're going to answer the phone when you call.
Answer the phone when you call. Yeah, absolutely.
Speak at least somewhat English. I mean, me and James have problems with the English language still to this day, and we probably always will. We're not Lisa Baker. We didn't graduate from MSU, and we struggle, but we do our job.
I've never had a problem communicating with any of you guys over there.
Kevin, I got a question for you. You're always coming out with really, really cool new stuff, and I just, sometimes when I come visit you and you show me some of the new stuff, it just blows me away. I never asked you this, but are you one of those guys that constantly keeps a little notepad by? Do you wake up in the middle of the night with a killer new idea, or how do you generate these ideas and these products that you come up with?
Well, I've always felt that the old saying, necessity is the mother of invention, and it's really, really true. And I find by being creative, building a bike from scratch, and just trying to have a clean slate, and thinking outside the box where there's a lot of room. Inside the box you're limited. Outside the box, there's no boundaries.
Yeah.
And think differently. So many things. Like what's real common in the chopper industry right now is retro stuff. People scour the swap meets for old vintage stuff and assemble a bike that looks like it could have been built in the late 60s, and that's cool for sure. But that stuff is all. I mean, in the late 60s, all that stuff was done. This is 2012, and we've got a lot of resources available. So look at things a little bit different. And there's guys like Locke Baker, as an example, Eastern Fabrication. He's on the East Coast. That guy, he's not even out of the box. I mean, he's thinking outside the. He's in the neighbor's outside of the box.
He's crazy stuff. I saw that the engine he built with the aircraft top end. It's just impeccable. And
it runs and rides and looks great. And I mean, so there's a guy who's that's how I like to think. I try to just look at things in a different way, and I do keep notes, and unfortunately I've got notes everywhere in the shop, and I lose them. I'm like the squirrel that has to write it down 4 times because I can't remember where I wrote it. But
any good inventor will do that, and we all know that. I'm crazy with sticky notes and whatnot myself. Hey, speaking of people like Locke Baker, definitely let them know about this radio show, Kevin. And we'd like to get more people like you and him on here. And also, please, the 4 Days for America program, I don't know if you got to get online and see that. It's the number 4, DAYS 4America.com. That program was running the 1st through the 4th. That was to get people to buy American for Christmas. That was just 4 days, though. We've got a whole month worth here, and there's a lot of American-made products on that website. You don't have to buy a Baker transmission. You can buy some jewelry. You can buy some pet clothes. There's all kinds of stuff on there, candles for your wife. Please get on there. Please buy American, and I know you buy American, and I know you spread the word, but spread it just a little farther, and I'll let them know about this radio show.
We definitely will be doing that. I'm going to post it on my website and on my Facebook, and this is a great thing. We need a lot more of it, and this is a fantastic start.
Yeah, I've thanked Frank many a times. Before we let you go, James has got one quick thing for you. Hold on.
I was just going to tell you, Kevin, you might as well be a shameless self-promoter. Go ahead and let everybody know what your website is.
Oh, well, it's FabKevin, FabKevin.com, and I've got a brand new website. I've kind of just entered the new age now where you can kind of blog and add new things daily, and so I try to keep that current, and all my wares are on there, and it'll be updated regularly. So thank you.
I'll have to check that out myself.
Yeah, please do.
Awesome, Kevin. Hey, I really appreciate you coming on, man. It's our first show, and I thought of you first, and thank you for coming on. We got to have you on again. I don't know when that'll happen, but I know we'll keep in touch, and thanks, man.
Well, I'm honored, and it's been my pleasure. You guys take care.
All right, Kevin, take care.
You too. Thanks, brother. We got a break coming up here shortly, I do believe, and after the break, we're going to touch base with our Dealer of the Week. That is Mark Bowler at Oasis Cycles. Frank, are you ready?
We are ready, Mark. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Internet Radio America, the radio revolution.
Can't seem to find the right size wrench? Are you tired of searching for the right tool? Introducing the Loggerhead Bionic Wrench. It's 14 wrenches in one. Any size, just squeeze and turn. The patented design produces a powerful mechanical advantage. Pliers and adjustable wrenches can strip the corners, but that won't stop the Bionic because it grips on all 6 sides. Simply squeeze and turn. American made and a proven winner. No more guessing. Easy to use. Adjusts like a pliers. The Bionic wrench is 14 wrenches in one. Everyone needs one. At home or on the road. With the patented gripping power. The Bionic grips them all. It's a gripping experience. Thousands of uses for the Bionic wrench. Makes a great gift for everyone on your holiday list. 100% American made. Lifetime guarantee.
And coming up right after Mark and the two-wheel meltdown is American made tonight. We'll be talking about American manufacturers and, of course, the whole 4 Days for America movement. I'd like to reach out to all the folks listening to the two-wheel meltdown to go over and pledge to get their 4 American-made products. Like Mark was saying on the show tonight, there's some great products out there. Do some Christmas shopping. It's all about American-made, and we're just so happy to be together on this. Tuesday on Internet Radio America. It's Beans and Apples. Sax and Rowdy in the house to talk about New York and Boston. It's the sports. It's the culture. It's the fans. Beans and Apples, a special sports talk show between New York and Boston. 8 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday nights on Internet Radio America. Leaders in Internet media and the American-made movement. You're listening to Internet Radio America. You're listening to Internet Radio America in a two-wheel meltdown. This is the conclusion. Mark, take it away.
This is the two-wheel meltdown. This is Mark B. along with James Simonelli here at the Baker Drivetrain headquarters. We've got our Dealer of the Week coming up. This guy pulls no punches. He's going to tell you how it is. Yeah, I've come in here many mornings with the phone ringing, and it's him yelling at me in a good way. He's a good friend of mine. Frank, is Mark Moeller on the phone?
He's not here yet. All right.
We'll explain a little bit about what Oasis Cycles is. They are just outside of Jackson, Mississippi. Great facility. They've got a great showroom that also includes, they've got like a paint booth on one side. They've got parts on the other. They've got their actual shop where they do the work on the motorcycles. I think they're capable of doing like oil changes and tires or something. But I don't know. We'll check in with Mark here.
Here we go.
Short.
So Mark and Mark, right?
Mark and Mark, Eminem.
What's going on, brother?
Man, just hanging tight.
We were just explaining your setup down there, and you know, the thing I was most impressed with was the palm trees. You know, the palm trees are not native to your part of Mississippi, but there was quite a few of them around your shop area. How'd you get them damn things in there?
Well, we had a pickup truck. We went down to Florida and just started digging and just started putting in the back of the truck, and it took a good little effort to bring those babies up here, but we wanted to give an Oasis a solitude, a nice trinity of customers to come up here and relax and be part of what we all enjoy.
And it is beautiful down there. Now, you say you dug those trees up. Did you go to, like, the Chamber of Commerce front yard or the Capitol and take it? I'm just messing with you, Mark.
we had to wait late at night and just dig it up. We had a couple of little drinks and just started picking them up and bringing them on with us.
Exactly. Hey, man, so what do you do down there at the shop? Can you handle oil changes and tires? Well, what do you do?
Well, first and foremost, we promote Baker products, American made, one of the finest products in the United States that we just absolutely love. We perform service from routine service, like you said, to wild packages. We do radical bagger builds. Well, like you said before, we had a paint booth over there. We do wild custom paint jobs, handle wild performance modifications to routine damage to rings or problems like that. And continue to work close with guys like y'all, making on the leading edge of better products for our motorcycles at hand. I take a product that's good and make it better, and find the faults, the imperfections that the manufacturer did, because the bottom line they're continuing to watch so closely. And Baker Products continues to reinvent those and make it a better product and a better experience for the consumers that own the Harleys that they do today.
Definitely, man, and you have been a big-time supporter of us, and that's why you're on the radio tonight. The biggest thing that I noticed when I was down there is you've got customers that a little bit more than customers, that they'll come to the shop just to hang out, whether they've got anything that needed done or not. Huh?
Well, we try to make it a family, a fan base. I mean, you give a good service and a good product, and you care. And I mean, with passion and integrity equals quality. I mean, the same way as Baker. I mean, you get passionate and you care about your product and you care about your customer, you'll have a following, and it just ends great results. With our consumers, they come from within the state, out of state. They've heard the word that we actually care and continue to make a product better and care about the results and the out and income. We follow up with our customers and make sure that they're happy later after the sale. That way we have reoccurring. So, and just like Baker, just make a good product better and continue to support the customer. Without the customer, we don't have a product and we don't have a business.
And that you do, man. And we are as equally big of supporters as you are of us. And I know you've dealt with Scott here for years, and I came on board at some point, and you treat both of us with equal respect.
I don't know about respect, but we use them all the time every now and then.
James is more of a New Yorker, and you seem to call us. Lisa at one point in time said, we need to send the East Coast people to James and the Southern people to Mark, and the West Coast people to Scott. And how did I get caught up in this redneck thing anyway? Am I really a redneck?
We adopted you. We really did. I think it started a conversation in Ohio about some boudin, and it went from there.
Oh, I love the boudin. We got some thawing in the fridge right now. We're going to cook that up hopefully tomorrow.
Sounds like a
chicken jalapeno cheddar one, man, that sounded pretty good. I was looking forward to the boudin, and I seen something new. There's a lot of great food down in that area. I wish I could just eat that stuff every night, but I'm up here stuck in Michigan, man. Hey, do you got moving on? Do you have any current specials going on, Mark? Any 10% off this, 15% off this? We'll throw in some boudin if you do this. Well, what do you got going on, brother?
Well, as always, we promote Baker products as much as we can. So anybody that needs a transmission or a Baker product such as the attitude adjuster or that lovely, and you did miss the mark on that, on the Bully primary. Not only is it accessible, it's absolutely a true work of art. So therefore, that is just an art piece that's functional and practical and just absolutely beautiful. You can just sit there and stare at it for days. Any Baker product that we're giving off 15% from now to January 1st to try to make American better. So if anything we can do with that, we'd be glad to do so. We're giving performance packages 107 kits, but mainly we're trying to push the transmissions, because that, once you get a Baker transmission, you wonder what the heck were you thinking, why didn't it come in their factory?
Thanks, man. We really appreciate that. We appreciate everything you do. Yes, the Bully is beautiful looking. I did forget to mention that. Thank you for bringing that up. We've seen many of design pictures before that Bully come out. I mean, Andy changed this a little bit, changed that a little bit. Then Bert, comes in, looks at it, gets grumpy, says, "Oh man, I don't like that part of it." So, Andy goes back to the drawing board, and as everything around here, when the final product rolls off the line, it came out beautiful, and we were very proud of it. And it is a little bit more than just a little window in the side of it, man.
It's a mechanic's dream. Not only can you actually inspect your primary chain, you can actually check your compensator bolt, make sure that's tight, and change your clutch spring if you need to, which is absolutely a mechanic's dream. I absolutely love it.
That's great. That's awesome, and we love it too. We just hope the rest of the world loves it. We try our best, and we throw it out there, and we see what happens. Moving on to springtime, brother, you've got an open house coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that and when it's going to be?
March 23rd, March 24th, right after Daytona. We're trying to bring in the much dealers and manufacturers and meet the public. Because at the end of the day, like I said before, without the consumer, we don't have a product and we don't have a service to perform. So therefore, we're trying to link those three together, make a better experience for the consumer. That way they get some faces with the product and know who's American-made versus just a name that's on the Internet and it's a lower price. Show the integrity of the products that people make and where it's made, how it's done, how it's performed, and why it's better. So that's what we're trying to implement. We are Mississippi. It's not many places and many events that we have. It's huge here, but we're trying to make something good a lot better the American way. As always, there's always room for improvement, and just like on y'all's designs, you innovate, not imitate. So therefore, that's what separates Baker from anybody else.
Nice, man. And we're going to do our best to get down there and join you for that.
That will be wonderful.
Word back from Bert yet, but I believe Scott's actually going to bring it up tomorrow in the sales meeting, and that's how a lot of things get done here. We are kind of family around here too, and nothing gets really a stamp or a seal of approval on it until everybody's approved it. And it not everything goes that way, but most things do. And some things, we get a company-wide email sent out say, hey, what do you think of this, or what should we do to this? And family is what we're all about. That happens on the East Coast with James. That happens with us rednecks in Michigan and the rednecks down south and people out in the West too. Family is a big thing, and family is what we do here at Baker Drivetrain. And you are part of our family, Mark, and I appreciate you coming on, brother.
I appreciate you, my friend. It was an honor.
Take care. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you much. Bye-bye.
All right, man, we're getting here ready to wrap things up here. We have open phone lines now, so if anybody wishes to call in, ask us whatever you want to ask us. Try to keep it family-friendly. I know this is the biker industry, and there's a lot of crazy questions out there, but if you want to call in, please do. And we'll take your call just as soon as they come in. Stumbling a little bit here. James, you got anything to add?
I'd love to talk to some people that maybe have some tech questions, some driveline questions. And actually, I'll tackle any aspect of the motorcycle. What do you got? Throw it at us.
And that's what I got James alongside me for. I'm very technically proficient on all of our products. James is technically proficient on everything out there. How many years were you at S&S, James?
14 more.
14 years at S&S, so he knows the motor, he knows the drivetrain from the time that he spent with us. And let's get back to something I mentioned earlier, nicknames. We had a lot of nicknames around here. We were talking about Poopy. You remember Poopy there at the Poopy's bar or saloon or whatever it was called? We've had a lot of nicknames here as well. One of the greatest nickname stories, Andy Ingram, who is no longer with us. He one day was test riding a motorcycle, listening for noises and whatnot, and all of a sudden he hears this whistle. And what's going on? He's thinking. He comes back and he's like, I'm hearing a whistle on this deal. And he finally realized that the whistle was coming through the gap in his teeth. If that's not a story for a nickname, I don't know what is. What's up, James?
Let's make sure everyone's got the number to call in case they got a question.
Definitely. The number for calling into the radio show is 617-381-4700. 617-381-4700. Give us a call. Ask us whatever question you would like to. We are going to be here for about another 6 minutes. So if you've got a Baker drivetrain question or a motorcycle question in general, we'll be happy to answer it to the best of our knowledge. There isn't too much we can't handle. Every day we get a call that's not drivetrain related. We get calls on, hey, what tail light should I run on my chopper? What fender, what risers, what ape hangers? Do I have to buy longer cables for my ape hangers? Do I have to put this cam in my bike or that cam in my bike? Man, we really try. We try hard to accommodate you. We would rather just talk about the drivetrain stuff, but we understand that we are in the motorcycle industry. We're not just in the transmission world. Transmissions are what we do, but understanding the transmission means you have to understand the entire motorcycle and how it works. The drivetrain attaches, again, the power coming from the motor to the rear wheel. Without what we do, you go nowhere on your bike. And we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Any closing thoughts, James?
I was just going to actually remark about the crazy weather we've been having this year. You know, not everybody's torn their bike down yet to do their winter stuff.
Good point.
Because, I mean, hell, last weekend, when was the last time you took a ride in December in Michigan? I got out of bed and it was a little foggy, and I waited, and I said, wow, that's nice enough to take a ride. And I thought that was pretty cool, taking a December ride.
Damn right. That doesn't happen all the time here in Michigan. Anybody from down south, you folks get to ride all the time. Maybe a little bit spoiled, but up here we get a few months in the summer, a couple in the spring, a couple in the fall, and then we're done. We take the insurance off our motorcycle, put storage insurance on it, park it in the garage, change the fluids, put staple in the gas tank, put it on life support. I like to call it life support. What do you call your little battery tender? Is that what they're called, that battery tender?
Oh man, I like to take my stuff completely apart every winter. I'm a freak. I don't have time to charge batteries when I got it in a million pieces.
Well, that's part of it too. We've noticed around here at Baker Drivetrain that November and December seem to slow down. Nobody does a whole lot with their motorcycle, and then come around springtime, everybody's in a great big hurry. So I've learned from that experience. And in November and December, I'd like to tear mine down too, but we're not doing it this year, bro. So what upgrades you doing in January? Got any plans for your race bike?
Oh, I got a complete revamp going down, especially with the help of our good buddy Fab Kevin, who we just talked to. We're going to reinforce the frame a little more. We're going to take a little weight out of it. We're looking for a few more horsepower. We're building a kind of special bike for Bert that you can follow along in Ironworks magazine. It's called the Organ Donor. It's going to be a pretty nasty street strip machine with a very powerful motor. Bert's going to go 9s. That's right. Bert Baker is going to go 9s on this bike.
9s on an organ donor. This is like taking your parts of your Frankenstein character there, put them in all together, and see what happens. This is also going to be our calendar bike, for those of you who don't know. Each year we build a bike, and we find a beautiful woman, usually in a strip club, but not this time. We're going to models.com or some crazy thing like that. And we put the girl on the bike. We take a bunch of photos of her, put them on a calendar, and hand them out. We hand these things out for free. Usually places, they'll charge you $3, $5, $10. Here's our calendar for this year. No. You come see us in Daytona. You come see us in Sturgis. You come see us at any show that we go do. You can pick up our calendar totally free. You can pick up our catalogs totally free. Our price list totally free. We are American made. We try to keep our prices down as best we can. on a side note, folks, we are going to see you back here Wednesday, 6 to 7, for another edition of our two-wheel meltdown. Thanks, folks. We loved having you here. We'll see you next week.